Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Reaplaced. Tonight, we experience a Halloween locked room mystery together. Welcome, Pyro. Congratulations on being first. How are you doing today? Welcome, Ash. How's the day treating you? I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. Especially with Halloween just tomorrow. Halloween. What a wickedly wonderful night to find restless souls. While humans party, look for candy, and scare the living daylight out of one another, I always make the most of that sacred time. I'm glad you're doing alright. If things aren't too eventful, at least hopefully there's a degree of comfort in that. I mean, even being inside and not enjoying candy, you can still enjoy Halloween. Always a wonderful atmosphere of horror to indulge in. Yes? For I, Grey Parent, am a reaper of such exceptional souls to harvest. My job is simple, find those that have died and usher their souls to their final destination. However, some souls are more treasured than others. Humans like to take comfort in telling each other that death is the great equalizer, that it's all the same when someone dies. But we'd rather wicked let them know how wrong they are. And so we don't. Indeed, there are many reasons to enjoy our sacred October, even without some of the more traditional elements of revelry. What they don't know is that those with interesting, complex, otherwise unorthodox deaths are more valuable. It's more to pride amongst reapers to collect the more interesting souls. Nobody would talk reverently of the reaper who lingered around hospitals and nursing homes waiting for withering husks to fade after all. No, by far the most worthwhile and interesting deaths occur from murders. A human taking the life of another human, be it by passion or by plan. Souls pulsing with rage, regret, and remorse, powerful feelings that make them coveted like diamonds. However, because these souls often overflow with emotions, they are hard to read. They're trying to pull a ship that's anchored to the ocean floor. But by solving the circumstances of their murders, they are placated and easily harvested. It's not always easy, but the reward is well worth the trouble. Plus, there is some fun in solving a murder, when your work can become your play. And with the bittersweet smell of death in the air, I can always tell when I'll have my work cut out for me. Happy Halloween, humans. You always make such monsters of yourselves. My vision cleared as I materialized in the darkness. Immediately I felt my clothes starting to cling to my skin as a heavy downpour of rain began to soak me. It didn't bother me. Being wet is no problem for a reaper, and you can't pick and choose where the finest dead souls will be found. I swung the water from my face and looked around. Standing at the side of what might have started the day as a scenic little dirt road through a forest. Now it was becoming a long slick of mud. The only light came from the pale illumination of the full moon. It was enough to navigate by. Surrounding me I could see wild grass, trees, and large rocky hills nearby. Ah, the quiet and rural landscape of the country. Perfect for intimate murders with few witnesses. Person was killed in the forest, in the slaughterhouse, even on the road. I hummed these thoughts to myself as the rain continued to pour down. Rather than make any early guesses, I'd let the scent of death guide me instead. I breathe it in the air and let the bittersweet aroma guide me down the wet, rainy road. Sooner or later I'd come across a corpse. It was only a matter of time. I didn't have to wait long. After about 10 minutes of walking, I could see shapes in the darkness. A modest home, a collection of cars carefully parked on the roadside, and more importantly, a group of costumed humans gathered close together by the entrance. It was Halloween. It was no surprise that they were dressed up. There's no rural area like this. They'd really be going trick-or-treating. I'm not too old to be doing that, or if adults started going around asking for candy these days. I watched closer but kept the shadows so I can get a better look at them while staying undetected. These were complicated once I revealed myself. I couldn't hear them very well over the downpour, but I was close enough to be able to discern their appearances. First that caught my eye was a young man who was wearing an owl costume. He looked a little skittish and was trying to peer inside the house through its windows. There was a cardboard box by his feet, though I couldn't tell exactly what was in it. Next to the young man who at first glance looked like a zombie. As I observed him, I corrected myself. His outfit, I believe, was dressed as a Jiangxi, creature of Chinese myth, a sort of vampiric zombie. Caution aside, he looked irritable and was pounding his fist on the door. And while I couldn't hear his words, I was able to make out his anger. Simply, he was pissed for one reason or another. My eyes cast downward towards the man's feet, and I saw 2 plastic bags full of bottles. Lastly, there was a young woman who was wearing a dress with a tongue? Not an easy costume to work out straight away, but you look at the macabre as much as I do. Some of us take of interest in various cultures' spooky myths. I just thought she was wearing an interesting take on that umbrella yokai. Not bad, all things considered. Like the others, she had a plastic container by her feet full of something. Busy typing away on her phone, also peering at the windows. 3 people all dressed up in Halloween costumes outside of a pitch-black house. One with a scent of death was ominously strong. Those boys were just going to end up waiting by the door until the night was done. But I can be perfectly patient. I hate wasting time needlessly. I stepped out from the rain and approached the house. It didn't take long for the 3 to turn and notice me. Who's there? Vic, is that you? Obviously, that's not Vic. I'm trying to get every shadow that shows up. That's obviously not a shadow. That's a person. I think. What else would it be? A monster? What if it's a monster? Have you looked at yourselves? It talks! How kind of the group's fool to identify himself. Halloween, of course, we do a bunch of monsters roaming about. Although... Ability pointed her phone at me, the light illuminating me entirely. Pretty great costume. Must put a lot of work into that Grim Reaper outfit. Thank you, it's my work uniform. And she's in character too, that's some real dedication. Why are you complimenting her? I have to go with Bernard on this one. This chick's kind of weird. What's what about me? I'm just enjoying the night. I don't mean to offend, really, but... We don't know you and you just walked up to us out of the shadows. Not to mention all this weird stuff going on with Vic and... Who's Vic? What, are you going to address the other things I said? I was a stern glare at the owl man who stiffened up and averted his gaze. Well, he just... Before the cowardly man could continue, the zombie raised his hand to make him stop talking. I don't know who you are or what your deal is. It's none of your business. What are you even doing out here? So the blunt approach wasn't going to work? Oh, it was fine. I water the charm when I need to. I cleared my throat and then pretended to shiver. Sorry, I didn't mean to impose. I was on my way to work and I lost control of my car on the muddy roads. I can't get cell service and no other cars have come by to help. I've been wandering around the road, hoping to find some sort of help. I was a little irritable from getting soaked to the bone. I was literally standing in the rain like a creep. The old guy mumbled under his breath. Luckily, my pleading was enough to at least soften the zombie's glare on me. Maybe he did have a heart. Not even a non-rotting one, despite how gaunt the rest of his costume was. Same thing happened to us, sort of. We all got here before the rain got bad, but the mud's got all our cars stuck. And to make matters worse, can't even get into Vic's house. Who's Vic? Well, this time they'd be more receptive to my question. He's a friend of ours and a big horror fanatic. Every Halloween he hosts a big party for us at his house. Mine pointed to the home in front of us. Well, it's not big in the sense of people, more in presentation. It's pretty remote here, but he goes all out with the decorations. Sometimes he goes too far. I suppose he's giving me heart attacks for the things he's done. I see, so you can't get over his house. Sounds troublesome. It is. We'll wait out here in the rain. He's got the entire house locked up. Locked up? The door and the windows are completely locked, and we can't see inside because all the blinds are closed and the lights are off. Making matters worse, he won't even answer his phone. We have no idea what's going on. He's off running errands, and now I can't even get inside. It's a pain in the butt. Well, something's happened to him. People don't just host a party and then go completely dark. Unless something's happened. Can I confirm everything? What do you mean by confirm? Remember the door and windows are locked? I mean, we checked, so... yes, I know you checked. I'll check for myself. May I? Knock yourself out. I approached the front door, reaching out for the knob and twisting it. Sure enough, it was locked. Just to be certain, I tried shoving the door. Did you be that thorough? Yes, you'd be surprised how many locked doors are just blocked off by some obstacle. Really? You must know a lot about this sort of thing, then. Quite so. Anyway, I'm going to check the windows now. Huh? You must knock on the house for that. You get your boots all muddy. That's fine. Must wash them off in the rain when I get back. Really are weird. Noted. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hey, won't you go flatters we'll be able to see? All of us should go with you. There's no need. Even if the road has no signal, its flashlight can still work just fine. Like you showed when you lit me up. Oh, of course. Indeed, now if you'll excuse me. I didn't wait for permission, but instead walked past them to inspect the outside of the house. Though I didn't telephone, but I have excellent night vision. They didn't need to know that, though. And before I rounded the side of the house, I spotted the umbrella woman whispering to the others there. She glanced my direction and then winked at me. I wasn't sure why she did that, but I didn't let it bother me. I inspected the windows around the house, and they were properly locked, or at least they seemed to be. There was a dead body in there. I was certain there was. It was well protected. I walked back to the front of the house and looked at the other people gathered there. You seem to be right. The house's windows are all locked. Right, like I said before. Did you not trust me? I'd be a fool to just randomly met in the middle of the night. Well, the right man would do that. Wonder. The umbrella girl raised an eyebrow. Yeah, I wonder who. I'm getting really worried. Fear not, there's an easy way to resolve this. There is? Yes, all we have to do is simply unlock the door. The thing looked at me as if I were mad. I think we would have done that already if we could. So none of you have a key that opens this door. It's not a house. Why would we? I assume if we were all but friends of Vic, at least one of you would have a spare. Don't go off saying things like that. Every person is entitled to their privacy. Right. Privacy. Of course. I shrugged and walked up to the door. Well, then we're left with no other option. That is... we just have to break down the door. Break it down? We can't do that. Why not? You look inside, don't you? I mean, yes, I do, but... is something inside that you wouldn't want me to see? What place is the first thing you jumped to? Then I fail to see why we can't just break down the door and enter. Because he could probably want to kill us if he found out that we wrecked his door. Oh, yes, I suppose that would inconvenience him. You're just realizing this now? Could have someone jump through a window instead. How is that any better? Well, it's much cheaper to replace a broken window than a broken door. Has been hospital recovering might balance out the cost, though. The old man's jaw dropped and he looked at the others, no doubt stunned at the realization that the windows were an alternate entrance point. Just play along, it's probably part of the act. The act. It's rather sweet the way they didn't realize I was being entirely serious. Well, they could believe whatever they liked, as long as they'd agree with us getting inside. Fine, but if Vic gets upset, you're taking the blame. Whatever, I just want to get this stuff inside and drink already. Walked up the door with the zombie man who looked at me and then at the door. How are we going to do this? We've never kicked down a door before. I usually just use the handle. I'll take the hint that I'm not meant to go through that door. Okay, then I will show you in case you ever need to do so. It's quite simple, really. Aha. Order the door and adjust my stance. Listen about a leg's length away. Prepare the kick with your dominant foot. And for just above or below the lock, use a flat foot. Make sure your knee is slightly bent on impact, and then I foot into the air and delivered a swift, heavy kick to the door. It was enough to break the door open on the first try, but the sound of splintering wood meant there was progress. There. Now you can give it a go. So we looked uncertain and turned to the others. You show me how to do it again? I sighed. Why couldn't these humans learn from just watching once? I said, just copy my form and the door should open easily. Watch carefully this time. I was back and delivered another kick for the door, except this time the door broke open and swung inside the hole. There. It only took 2 kicks. I'm not particularly strong. Can't I be so modest? I want the door clean off its hinges. No, I didn't. See, it's clearly still attached. Anyway, shall we go inside? I didn't bother waiting for a response and walked inside the house. Hey, wait! Aren't we supposed to ask for permission before entering? That's what vampires do, not reavers. You're like a decent human being. Did you not hear me? I'm a reaper. Oh, she's way too committed. Those walked in behind me and flipped on the lights. They went to bust your door down since you wouldn't answer your phone. We think this is part of some weird prank you're doing, so hopefully that's part of the act. Don't say we, this weird girl is the one who broke it down. I'm not going to take any responsibility for what happened here. As we all entered the home, I noticed that each of them had brought their box or bags inside. Zombie and Owl walked over toward the kitchen. One began unpacking bottles of alcohol into one of the couch tops, while it began to arrange boxes and packets of snacks onto another. When the food got wet, did it? We're plastic packaging, so it's dry. Don't worry. I turned to the umbrella girl, who was putting multiple VHS tapes and DVDs out of some bags. She was even plugging various wires into the nearby TV and VCR/DVD combo player. Not being worried about their friend, they didn't seem to have much urgency in going to find him. Of course, they were only human. They couldn't smell his corpse from afar like I could. I took a sniff of the air. The acrid, bittersweet smell was more intense inside the house. There was no doubt that a body was in here somewhere, but I didn't need to rush to find it. That would just make everyone here frantic and hard to talk to. I took advantage of that moment of calm to glean some information out. If I picked their brains individually, it would help me to gather them all up together first. Pardon, may I ask what it is that you've all brought with you? You seem more preoccupied with unpacking things than checking for your friend. We wouldn't just leave the stuff out of the rain. Yeah, Peter was pretty strict about making sure we had everything in place for the party. As far as I'm concerned, we just have to set everything up right for when he shows up. When he shows up? Because the whole thing is just a prank. We're in on it, right? I said nothing and just stared at the owl man, unblinking. At least I didn't turn away. We'll say that she's got that uncaring Reaper attitude down for sure. I take offense to that. I am very caring when I need to be. I seem to stay professional when I'm working. There, she just admitted that she was working. I watched him just go through one ear and out the other with these people. Now think about it, I haven't been introduced. What's your name? Reaplaced. That sounds made up. It's a stage name, of course it's made up. Yes, it was made up by somebody, just as all your names are, I assume. Technically, that's true. I guess. Why are you glaring at us like that? Wait and tell me your names. Huh? You don't know our names? How would I know your names? I just met you only a few minutes ago. I mean, that's true, but... Didn't we get to tell you our names in advance? I used to thought I was part of some prank. I shook my head. You know, are you sure that she's not like some lunatic witch stumbling in from the forest? Witches would not be allowed to wear this uniform. Yeah, Bernard, witches would obviously have a hat and broomstick. Ah. That's not what I meant! You two are Mio and Bernard? Yes, I'm Mio Yoshida, and that's Bernard. Bernard how? Why did we give her our last names? We should use them to commit fraud. I want to do that with just our names. I don't know, I just want to give up my personal details so easily. It's really fair to give your full name after I gave out mine. I don't even know it's your real name. I'm wearing a name tag. It's part of my uniform. I showed the amethyst in my outfit to show the crystallized name inside. What about the zombie? What is his name? It's Kai Durant. Excellent, now that we're all acquainted, I'd like to ask some questions. Sure, fire away. First question, I saw you all gathered outside together. Did you all arrive at the same time? No, I was the first to show up here. Bernard showed up next, and then finally Mio. So you showed up alone first, Guy? That's what I just said. And the door was locked when you first arrived. Guy frowned and looked back at the broken door. Yeah, I knocked on the door and rang the doorbell, but Vic didn't show up. I was waiting a couple of minutes, that's when the others showed up in their cars. We showed up here on our own. We had a few errands done before the party was going to get started, after all. I was probably referring to all the food and drinks and entertainment that they brought. Let's meet about that later. When did you check the windows? A couple of minutes after we all arrived and tried calling Victor, we figured we'd check on the house. We didn't want to get a costume or money, so Kai and I went around the house while she waited up front. You made us look a jerk. I'm not, the rain was starting to come down harder, so I don't blame you for wanting to stay out of the dirt. That's not exactly your umbrella you're going. It's just a costume, it's not exactly waterproof. Regardless, did anything happen while you were standing watch or inspecting around the house? No, the curtains on the windows were closed, so we couldn't even see inside with our phones. We couldn't really hear anything aside from the rain. So they had no idea what the state of the house was until they got inside? Was that deliberate? Just coincidence? The couple was waiting up front either. And how long were you alone for? Probably more for a couple of minutes? Maybe like 3 minutes at most? Then Kai and Bernard came back, we waited a couple of minutes, pounded on the door some more, kept calling Vic, and then you showed up. I see, thank you. Better grasp with the timeline now. So if I make a noise that seems to be indicating a clue, we've not found any clues yet. Kai should at first, so he could have been inside or done something else when he was alone. There really saw any evidence of that, but I should at least keep the possibility in mind. And he was only alone for about 3 minutes. It might have been enough to tamper with something. I always have to keep my mind open for anything that seemed off. Speaking of, it was extremely well decorated. Someone put a lot of work into it. That's Vic for you. A fanatic perfectionist. Doesn't have to go all out of the decorations, but every year he does. It's kind of sweet the way he does all this for us. Except the time with that damn haunted animatronic door that scared the Jesus out of me. But that was a good year. So he does all this himself? Yeah, always like to make the party a big surprise. He was the same way this year too. I feel that you're part of the decorations now too. Kai pointed at me and I stared blankly at him. I am no decoration to be gawked at. Right. Well, if that's everything, we get back to pulling out all these bottles. Got a paint to pack up and I don't want anyone tripping over them. Go ahead, I'll simply observe for the time being. I did. Ah. I'll certainly do my best. I sit back and let the others get back to their duties. Not that I was going to sit back for too long. Now it's time to get personal. I small talk with each of them before I gave them a slight push to find out where their friend had disappeared to. Let's chat with Mio first. She seemed the most open to us. Let's talk with Mio, who's busy plugging various wires into the television. The reason why you're the one doing all the technical work. This is all drinks and snacks. But I'm stuck with movie duty. If you don't use the right wires, you won't get the right sound of video. Old tech is so annoying. You dedicate all these movies as well? A glance over the selection of VHS tapes and DVDs on the table. Even Misfortune, Void Space, Technique the Investigator Gauntlet, Detective Steward, Cruise Ship Killings, Icy Annabelle, Ray Rev. Interesting collection here. These are some bona fide classics. So it's a reason why we're watching them on old VHS tapes and DVDs. Probably stream them. I think things as their sort of horrific charm in watching old media on old technology. It makes sense to pick these out yourself. Some of them, yeah. He knows what I've got. He knows I've got good taste when it comes to horror-related stuff. That's how we met, you know? School and Cult Club. Cult Club? Yep, a lot of people are off-put by scary stories and occult myths, but I think they're fascinating. You don't always have monsters, ghosts, and spirits to watch out for. Why not learn how the horrors of the world manifested in each of them? That's actually a very intellectual way to look at it. Thanks, I take my research seriously. I can tell you off, it looks pretty accurate for a Casa Obake. You're covering one leg to represent how they're one-legged, right? Your eyes went wide and soon after so did a smile. You get it? Oh my god, I thought no one was going to see all the effort I put into this. You must have been a cult fan yourself. Not really, this kind of just comes with my job. Right. You have to research play around. You have to research play with parts, don't you? Sure. Whatever you say. A bit more hassle than was worth arguing about at this point anyway. Maybe one would try and up your game with some other ideas. Give me a second. You started looking around the living room until she found a particular book and laid it on the table. And this must be some old library that was selling off books that hadn't been borrowed in years. What exactly is it? Catalogue of all sorts of monster spirits and cryptids, with little sketches and descriptions. Well, it's to Victor because he likes to use it for inspiration whenever we have these parties. I see. Thank you. Go on, no need to be modest. You can take a peek. Once the forbidden knowledge within won't burn your eyes out. Thanks. That's reassuring. Those big eyes were glaring expectantly at me. I think there wasn't any way I could get away without at least entertaining the book with a glance. I sighed, and then opened the book to a random page that was bookmarked. I did descriptions and sketches of 4 monsters. Werewolves. Powerful beasts of the night that transform from human to powerful beastmen with ravenous hunger and ferocity. Most popularly believe the transformation is more akin to a blood explosion, with the skin bursting apart as the wolf-like creatures push their way over the skeleton. Gross. Similarly, direct contact with moonlight is required to trigger this transformation, even then, only during a full moon. The deal with the werewolf is to use silver, fire, or simply execute the human when it reverts back from its wolf form. It must go back to being human if not exposed to moonlight for extended periods of time. Move on to the next section. Doppelgangers. Masters of disguise, these monsters are able to steal the skin of the dead and alter their bodies to match. While not inherently dangerous on their own, a doppelganger's desire to fit in sometimes causes them to murder to find a disguise that will offer them safety. When they steal the skin of a fresh corpse, they gain access to their memories and personalities, allowing for a perfect disguise. Inherent physical conditions such as poor vision, intolerance to milk, or even a recently contracted illness. Doppelgangers use their diamond-shaped claws to dig deep into the body and tear it off without damaging the rest of the tissue. A technique that has served them well for many years. Be on the lookout and trust nobody. That was actually an interesting read. Reapers. First thing on my kind. I was going to see what they managed to get right and what misconceptions they conjured up. Reapers are servants of death, ushering the deceased to their final resting place. Correct. There were such common knowledge that didn't need to be written down. Usually they form a skeleton shrouded in a cloak of darkness, although they are rarely seen. What? Where did they get this information from? Humans always jump to the wrong conclusions when the supernatural is involved. Yes, we have skeletons. Doesn't mean we just walk around all bony. It'd be a horrible disguise. There are many flavors of Reapers, each specializing in certain deaths. Grim Reapers, Laughing Reapers, Withering Reapers, Dauntless Reapers. Technically true, though I'm not sure the names are a perfect match. I do hate dealing with those overly joyous Reapers, always laughing and smiling about stupid deaths. I suppose that comedy is a way to help some souls move on, though. Despite the differences in name, they also have the same common powers of being able to sense death and transport souls. True, a few more tricks to help us have to blend in without being noticed and traverse the world. I personally don't mind a bit of fame, though. Their work is unyielding and never-ending, leading to all Reapers living long and lonely lives until mass death calls on them to rest. Some may live longer than they realize, and longer than they'd likely be able to comprehend. But lonely? Hardly. We must interface with one another very frequently. How else could we hear a claim when we reap complicated souls? Our jobs often have us in contact with many humans, even if only for a few brief moments. It doesn't toss away useful servants. If it is careless enough, they'll happily assign the role to someone more worthy. Won't have to worry about that. Now on to the last one. Slimes. Extremely rare and extremely dangerous, the slime is able to suffocate and digest organic matter with its acidic body. Those may appear maybe small, but they may simply be hiding portions of the body between cracks. Never approach a slime. They consume everything aside from bones, and worst of all, if a slime consumes a sentient being, it gains a cunning intelligence and may start to morph its body to lure in prey. If you suspect a slime is impersonating someone, look for a slime-like tether anywhere on their body. A cunning slime may try to disguise it as gum or dough. Do not fall for it, and simply run. I should admit I wasn't too familiar with these creatures. Most humans believe in a lot of made-up nonsense and miss a lot of things that are right under their noses. Well, that was going to tell me of that. No, right? It's a treasure trove of valuable information. Does your friend decide to put any slime-like traps around the house to fit the mold? Knowing him, nothing's off the table. Anyway, I should get back to setting up things properly. I don't want to have to battle with a tangle of cables in the dark later. I'll leave you to it then. Okay. Put the book down on the table and left me out to her work. Bernard definitely is not very open to us. Let's go to Kai next. I went over to Kai, who was organising the bottles. The drinks range from sodas to whiskey to even some water bottles, each with tampons of seals still unopened. I was always so worried about people messing with their food and drinks. But the selection you have there. What's a party without alcohol? Party? Alcohol isn't needed to have a good time. Kai rolled his eyes. Yeah, well, it makes things better, that's for sure. Rick knows that as well as anybody. That's why he asked me to get drinks. Was there a particular reason why he asked you specifically? Yes, I know the best places to get it for cheap without sacrificing quality. Not a lot of stores around here, so knowing where to get good booze is a handy skill. One that I perfected over the years. An impressive skill that will certainly aid you in the future. And it probably comes in handy if you want a budget. More importantly, I can mix these things up into something real tasty once the party gets going. Plus, if Victor fellow invited you to be the bartender, it makes much more sense. He invited me because of his friend. There's not much more to it than that. How long have you been known him for? Since we were in kindergarten, I think, so quite a long time. He's always been a bit of a... weirdo? No, not a weirdo. I mean, sure, he's weird, but he's more... eccentric. That's the word. Isn't that the same as weird? Not really. Weird is like insulting. Eccentric is more a positive spin, doesn't it? I mean, weird is more of a catch-all. Eccentric describes a more specific manifestation. One can be eccentric and weird. However, they are not mutually exclusive. They both mean strange enough the ordinary, but I suppose eccentric has a more positive connotation. Exactly, Victor's a good guy, but he tends to get caught up in his own thoughts sometimes. Although we balance one another out well, and the grounding force keeps him from having his head in the clouds. Oh, sweet. You really care for him? Don't think it sounds so sappy. That's what good friends do for one another. I'm surprised that many good friends aren't really that kind at all. That's their problem. Victor and I go way back. The bond is strong as steel. I see. Poor guy. Wouldn't be too long after all until he found that even steel can be shattered. By the way, do you have a favourite drink? Pretty good mixologist. I don't drink that often, but I could go for a whiskey sour. Oh. His face opposite looked over his collection of bottles. Is that going to be a problem? Well, sort of. I don't bring any lemon juice. Isn't lemon just a common ingredient in a lot of drinks? Did you just forget to buy it? Or if anything, I remember to not buy it. I don't understand. Because the problem with lemons, so I try not to get anything that might have lemon flavouring in it. What about the others? Do they want a lemon drink? They can be good friends and have their second choice. I would look out for Vic, after all. That still doesn't make sense to me. Don't worry about it, I'll just make something else later, alright? Okay, if you say so. I'll leave you to organise your makeshift bar. Yeah, I'll do just that. Let Kai alone and move back to the centre of the living room. And now let's chat with the Owl Man. Also Bernard, who was unpacking various food items from a box onto the kitchen counter. He kept looking away from me as I stared at him. What? Nothing, I'm just observing what you're doing. I'm just unpacking some snacks for later. It's not all that interesting. And now my eyes to inspect what he was unpacking. Boxes of crackers, popcorn packets, some bags of candy corn, 2 jars of cookies with fancy lids, and colourful candy bars. I suppose you're right, it's not all that interesting. What I find interesting is why someone so easily spooked ended up befriending someone obsessed with horror. It just strikes me as odd. Is it really that odd? So you may be dressed as an owl licensee of the soul of a chicken. Why are you so rude? Why are you a coward? First of all, I'm not a coward. I'm really not to be scared of things. But if I'm a little jittery, keep me safe when someone runs me with a knife. I suppose there is some benefit to cowardice, but that still doesn't explain why you befriended someone that probably spooked you, no? Oh, well, we both like the same sort of games. Games? Horror games. Put them together growing up. You can't convince me you willingly played horror games with your skittish attitude. Well, I'd never played them alone. I was expected to play them while I watched. But I like the stories a lot. I just couldn't go through the gameplay. What a strange way to bond with someone. That's just how we got to know one another. But the friendship just came naturally. That comes with its usual pros and cons. Such as? Well, Victor's a mischievous guy. He likes to play pranks and make stupid jokes. Even if it scares the life out of me, that's just the guy he is. He's also dedicated. I mean, he always hosts this party every year without fail and always makes it fun. So I can't say he's a bad guy, I just wish he'd calm down a bit more. Be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. What does that mean? Nothing. I don't want to spoil the surprise of you finding out just how calm he is now. Dead calm. Anyway, I can have one of those snacks. I haven't eaten since I got here. I was able to hold one of the jars of cookies he pulled out. But Bernard smacked my hand away before I could grab one. Don't touch that! I withdrew my hand and glared at him. We're not supposed to eat them until the party starts. Victor told me so. You can't have any. It's just one cookie. You're not even a proper guest, so don't act like you're entitled to one. I crumbled under my breath and looked over all the snacks with envy. Fine, keep your stupid snacks. I didn't want one anyway. I did. Well, with the owl keeping what, there was no way able to sneak one. But I'd get one of those cookies, mark my words. I'll shoot about to the centre of the living room. That's an interesting set of distractions, but I need to get things moving. It's been pleasant and all, but shouldn't the hosts of the show be revealing themselves about now? I think this is a joke of some kind. Victor have shown up already. This is some kind of long build-up. Maybe you should go looking for him. Angaroli stood up and looked toward the doorway ahead. Alright, I'll go and look for him then. Shouldn't we all go together? I guess we could if you want to. Setting things up. All you're doing is taking food out of a box. You can leave it for a second, can't you? Does someone eat something while I'm gone? I won't worry about that if we all left together. Oh, that's a good point. This will be part of the prank. Maybe we're all meant to go together. Like we'll all come across some gruesome scene while we're grouped up. Why would something like that? Because it's Vic that we're talking about. It's going to be such a big house. Just stay put and I'll be back in a few minutes at most. This house isn't that big anyway, so it'll be easy to find. I don't like you're wandering off alone, so I considered whether to accompany him. I thought I'd Kai into the hall when Mio grabbed me by the arm. Hey, Greer, I just remembered something. What? I turned back to watch Kai go down the hall to a corner and vanish from sight. Damn, he had gone. Since you were having issues calling for help earlier, if it's not working, you can use mine. Well, you don't really need to call for help. She smiled coyly as she held her phone out in front of me. I don't think she knew that I didn't really need to call anyone and was just testing me. If she thought that I was just some actor, then why was she interfering? Maybe she wanted to throw a wrench into the perceived prank that Vic had laid out. Or did she simply not believe in it at all? Maybe she viewed me as a complete stranger. Alright, to see if I can call them. Took the phone from her hand and began to type in a number. It was just a dummy number that I usually use to fake a phone conversation. I had it ring a few times before, feigning frustration. But while Mio seemed to be looking around the room, putting her hand up to her ear. Was she listening for a phone to ring? Damn it, they're not answering. Do we put it on silent? Yep, she must have thought I was calling their friend Vic. I handed the phone back to Mio, who pouted and she tucked it away. Really committed to the part, huh? Come on, you can't tell me what he's plotting. You can tell me what he's planning, girl to girl, yeah? What do you mean? One of the Vic hired you with some material for whatever prank he's got set up. Come on, our side. Let's flip things a little and spook him instead. I really don't understand what you're talking about. Well, I'll say it plainly. Vic's always getting the drop on us with his pranks and tricks. We've all been itching to get a little playful revenge on him. Why not help us out instead? We'll pay you double whatever you paid. Is it really that important to trick your friend that you'd pay someone to help you? Or at least be memorable. So come on, that's why he's hiding and maybe we can plan something out. I'm sorry, but I really don't have an idea where... Holy shit! Our conversation was cut short as Kai's voice boomed through the house. What's going on? What's that for? I probably fell for one of Vic's tricks again. Guys, come over here, quick! I felt a frisson of excitement knowing the main event was about to play out. You sound serious. Oh boy, what did you do this time? A bucket of fake spiders? There's only one way to find out. The of us hurried out of the living room and through the doorway. We caught the sounds of Kai's cries and turned left at the hallway. He was waiting right by the door, face slightly pale as he kept a hand on the doorknob. What happened? There's some really weird shit in the laundry room. Can you be more clear? What exactly did you find? A skeleton and just... A skeleton? It was spooked by a skeleton? That's like the most basic-ass Halloween prop. Skeletons can be scary. Shut up! It's not just a skeleton, it was... the crap it was on top of, too. Like, dirt? No, it was... Let me through so I can take a look at it. Wait, just a... I didn't bother listening to Kai and pushed past him, bringing the door open to reveal what had horrified him. Boy, oh boy, it was quite a scene. My eyes locked onto the realistic-looking skeleton in the center of the room, laying on top of a pile of viscera and sinew. The putrid smell of guts and blood sent my senses ablaze as I walked closer toward the display. I'd seen gory deaths before, but never one quite like this. Wow, this is serious production value. Vic really upped his game with the fake blood and guts this time around. Why are you impressed? This is fucked up! Even for Vic, this is going too far. Could be sick. Okay, sure, might be a little gory, but it's got to be fake. Like, homemade blood and guts. Maybe just ordered online from a store. They could have gotten it from a local butcher. Right, it's just fake. Bernard breathed a sigh of relief only to gag and cover his mouth. It smells horrible. I thought it would make it smell like a corpse too. See what I mean? It'd be scared shitless if you discovered this too. I never realised it was fake until you started explaining it. Fake? No, this isn't a fake body. This is certainly a real corpse, even if it's been rearranged a bit. They couldn't know, but I could sense the lingering soul change this body. Even with that supernatural knowledge, I could tell that these weren't fake bones. The sinew, the flesh, the blood, the smell. While I wasn't sure how the body ended up in this state, I was certain that this was a corpse. Or the others were willing to believe me. Okay, I know it's supposed to be like a moon setter and all that, but can you cut it out? This is seriously some freaky shit. We're all thoroughly spooked. You win, now don't go on saying this was real. Please don't. I don't think my stomach could take it. Yeah, it's just a joke, right? You got us, Vic. Come out now. Seriously, you got us. Can we just go back to having a normal party, please? If you think this is a joke, I implore you to look closely at this fake corpse presented to you. Look how fresh this blood is, the smell, and even poke the viscera if you want. I will not be doing that. I seriously will pass out if I have to get any closer to that thing. I don't want to get blood on my outfit. I was unwilling to get closer to inspect the body. He shakily held his finger and poked around the blood and guts. It's warm. And wet, and... Why the hell is it warm? Vexup isn't supposed to be this warm, right? There's probably some heater underneath all this stuff. And maybe this is all just butchered pig guts. I'd give him credit. He was thinking really hard to find some excuse for this not to be real. Feel free to dig around further, but I doubt you'll find any sort of heater under all that. You'll just end up staining your outfit. That's how exactly what your friend managed to connect the sinew of pig guts onto a fake skeleton so... realistically. Shut up. It's not real. It's not real. Yeah, I'll do the digging for you. I'm used to rummaging through corpses. I slid my hand underneath the viscera and carefully lifted it, blood and stray flesh leaking between my fingers. One thing beneath it being a blood-soaked floor. What the fuck? Guy, please tell me you was playing along. Please, just tell me that you're part of this act too. Of course I'm not! Why the hell would I want to be a part of something this sick? So it's real? It's a real corpse? Why the hell is there a corpse in Vic's house? God, Is that Vic? How the fuck did he end up like that? Shut up, Bernard. We don't know it's a corpse yet. Has to be a prank. It just has to be. He's come out laughing his ass off, explained his 50-step process on how he made this lifelike corpse, and then we'll just strangle him to near death, laugh it off, and enjoy the rest of the party like normal. So please, Victor, stop messing with us already and just show yourself. They were each praying in silence, praying that their friend would appear from the shadows with a sadistic grin, maddening laughter, that maybe he had simply gone too far with the joke and didn't realize it. The eerie silence and putrid smell wafting from the corpse only made their guts turn and their faces turn pale. The caustic truth began to seep into their heads. This was no joke, no prank, no trick. This was the irreversible, horrible, painful truth. There was a corpse in their friend's house, and quite possibly it belonged to their missing friend. Please. Are you done with the dramatics? Pretending that things are okay isn't going to solve anything. How the fuck can you say that? No, she's right. Even if she's being blunt and insensitive, she's right. This isn't a laughing matter, it's not a joke. Someone killed Vic and left him in this fucked up state. I don't want to believe it either, but what the hell are we supposed to do? We run! Obviously, that killer might still be around! Shut the fuck up, Bernard. I'm not going to run away when there's a killer on the loose. Someone who killed my best friend, I'll make them pay for this. When I get my hands on them, I'll make this death look like child's play. Easy there. One murder at a time, please. Kai turned to me, rage etched on his face, and his fist trembled by his side. What about you? What the hell is your deal? How come you're so cold about this? Aren't you some actor that Vic hired? Why are you able to deal with this like it's normal? I said it before, didn't I? I'm a Reaper. I deal with dead bodies all the time. I'm no actor. I was never in contact with your friend. I'm just as oblivious to what's happened as you are. But then you lied to us before about being an actor. First of all, I never once said that I was. It was an assumption that you all made. Or one of you made it, then like a mutation that spread around to plague your minds. I looked over at Mio, who sheepishly kept her head down. I'll say this much. I've been honest about almost everything. My name is Greer. I was on my way to work, and no other cars happened to pass me by as I came to this house. My phone service wasn't working, and I would be in big trouble if I didn't find someone to help me. And find a dead body, that is. The only thing that I was honest about was having a car. You can't really expect us to trust you to everything that's happened. You don't need to trust me. In fact, I invite suspicion. It means you'll be on guard. However, I'll say this much. I have a vested interest in helping you solve this murder. It would do well for you to at least cooperate with me for the time being. Cooperate? No, we need to call the police and have them figure this out. You're free to call the police, but considering the state of the storm outside, it might take them some considerable time to get here. And from what I can tell, this corpse is relatively fresh. The murder might still be close. Best be proactive and sit around and wait for outside help. No? But... Can it, Bernard? Creepy and weird as this girl is... I think she's right. At the very least we can try to figure some things out ourselves. I'm not going to let some twisted fuck get away with killing Vic, and I'm sure as hell not going to sit around and do nothing. But... Don't let them do their thing, Bernard. It's not like we'll get in trouble for at least trying. Yes, we will. I'm pretty sure there's some law against it, right? If there isn't, I don't think I could handle looking at a corpse that long. I advise you to stand back and don't run off. I advise you to stand back but don't run off. I want everyone close by while I begin my investigation. Fine. I'm still going to call the police. Even if they show up late, it's better than nothing. Then I whipped out his phone and brought it up to his ear. A few seconds he looked down at the screen in frustration. Damn it, I'm not getting any service. Did someone knock down a tree or something? Why is this happening tonight? It is something pretty bad out there. It won't be too hard to believe things are out of order. Bernard cursed under his breath and put his phone away. I guess we might as well do it your way then, Greer. Good. Now that we're all on the same page, I can investigate freely. Don't worry, Vector. We'll resolve your death in due time. Don't worry about the valuable soul you have. So, Greer, how shall we start this investigation thing? Don't get complicated. We can just start by inspecting the body. Kai's face sank as he looked over at the mess of a corpse before him. I guess that makes sense. I'm not getting anywhere near that thing. Me neither. You don't have to touch it if you don't want to, but I advise that you look closely. I doubt I'll miss anything, but just pairs of eyes ensures we won't miss anything. Right. Let's start with the skeleton. Is there anything of note on the skeleton? Okay, sure. I seem relieved we weren't delving through the still warm entrails beneath the skeleton with our hands. Looked over the bones closely for anything of note. Not really sure what to look for. Bone damage, ideally, a fracture or break, might give us a clue as to how your friend was killed. Maybe even cuts, though you'd need considerable force and strength to stab through a bone. Right. So from the bottom I worked my way up. Nothing note by the feet or legs. Hips were fine, spine and ribs seemed okay. The fingers, hands, arms and shoulders seemed undamaged as well. Things changed as I worked my way towards the neck. There we go. What'd you see? Pointing towards the neck of the skeleton. A piece of bone that's connected to some viscera? No. That's the hyoid bone. Looks to be slightly fractured. It's not connected to any of the other bones. The hyoid bone is a sort of a free-floating bone. It doesn't attach with other bones. The only bone in the human body with this feature. So, what do you think, that it got cracked when someone hit it? Possibly, though you'd also expect some other damage around the jaw and neck. This kind of injury is more common in strangulations. So he was strangled? I can't say for certain, but that's a strong option at the moment. I heard the fractured bone for a second before pounding his fist into his leg. Bastard killer couldn't even look him in the eye when they killed him. But let's not make assumptions this early. Moving on. The neck area seemed fine, so I checked out the head. But one thing that caught my attention. A strange mark on the forehead of the skull in the shape of a diamond. That's in line with the doppelganger, yes? Yes. What the heck is that? I'm not sure. As far as I know, people aren't usually born with marks on their skull. Is some kind of rare birth defect or deformity? I don't know. I reached out and gently wiped at it with his finger. You're touching it? I'm trying to see if it was real or not. It's not drawn on. It's kind of etched in there. I've had the grooves in the skull myself. They were oddly smooth and shallow. Was this carved in after the killing? I doubt the killer could have done this while the victim was alive. You need some crazy kind of knife tool with some serious precision. It doesn't even pierce the skull. How do you manage something like that? Who the fuck makes a damn art project of someone that they killed? A serial killer, most likely. It's an interesting way of marking it. Have there been other killings like this? I've never heard of anything. Someone being killed and leaving a mark carved in their skull. Or their skeleton got laid out on top of their innards. See, let's hope we're not dealing with a newborn killer practicing their art. And when all this goes, we moved on to other matters. Now let's check the viscera. Look at the viscera. Do we have to? You do not have to do anything, but I will investigate in case there's something of note in here. Aren't you a little grossed out? You're digging through blood and guts, whatever crud is in there. I've dealt with many bodies. This one's a bit messy, but nothing I can't handle. What's more interesting is how the body ended up like this in the first place. How do you even turn someone inside out like this? I'm able to do it if you had ample hours to cut and rearrange the corpse. The freshness of it would imply that this isn't the case. Exactly how fresh do you think this corpse is? I can't give specifics, but if I had to guess, probably no more than 1 or 2 hours. How recent? It's just an estimation. But we were literally texting Victor a few hours ago. Anyone can handle a phone. Maybe the killer simply pretended to be your friend over the phone. I guess that's possible. Couldn't explain how they managed to make this mess so quickly. Maybe the clue lies in here. I thoroughly searched the pile of flesh and blood, hoping to find some personal belongings in there. All I found was more blood and guts. Nothing of note. I flicked my hands to the floor to get rid of some of the blood. Hey, what are you launching that stuff? It's just blood. It's not just blood, it's my friend's blood, and all the inner stuff, too. Yes, well, there wasn't much to find in there. So let's move on. Yes, please. Are you done with that? I say so, that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily finished investigating this room. You're paying attention, I hope. Of course. I was. I simply nodded. Good, then let us continue. As I've had a good look at the body, I want to see if there's anything else hidden here. Hidden? Like what? A murder weapon, for example. This is a laundry room. Plenty of places to toss away something when you're done with it. Not over the washer and dryer. Like here, I believe that you could even wash or clean your clothes if you got them stained with blood. Is it extremely difficult to get blood out of clothes? Yes, but the culprit might not know that, so let's take a look. What if it was a washing machine and opened it? It was empty. Nothing in here. What about the dryer? Opened the dryer and found one piece of clothing inside, and pulled it out and raised it up. It was some strange sort of costume or outfit, not too similar to what the others had on. What is this? Huh. Ah, looks like Vic's Wolpertinger outfit. A what? A Wolpertinger. It's kind of like a joke myth monster around here. I read it's got antlers, sometimes wings, or a duck beak. It's a harmless creature, but apparently its saliva can make you sprout thick fur. When it feels threatening, it can spray a nasty liquid at you like a skunk, which won't go away for 7 years. Never in my life or death have I ever seen such a strange creature. It's not really a well-known one, so description gets toyed around with depending on who you ask. That's not what's really strange about it. What's been stranger than a 7-year stench? I mean, the costume, not the creature. That was Vic's Halloween outfit last year. She's right, there's no way he'd ever wear the same thing again. And besides, he showed us what he was planning to wear tonight a few days ago. We just reused it for tonight. The anything I know about Victor is that he doesn't like reusing old ideas. He thinks that it makes things stale. He was just cleaning it up, or the outfit that he originally had got dirty. The wire was tossed in the dryer. Maybe it got wet, like with water or something? So maybe Vic went outside and got the outfit drenched? I still don't know why he'd be wearing that outfit in the first place. It was odd, but I wasn't quite sure how it tied into the murder. Just have to keep it in mind for later. Do you need to get some fresh air, Bernard? No, I can handle it. It's just the air. It stinks and I can taste it too. It makes me sick. It's making me feel bad and you want to lie down. Yeah, I think. Marcel held his hand up to his mouth. Okay, never mind, I can't handle this. Sorry, but I gotta... Go, don't up in front of me. Bernard frantically nodded and blitzed out of the room. He going to be a liability for the investigation. Oh, no, he doesn't have a strong stomach. Already seen how skittish he is. What he done pissed his pants after seeing his own shadow? Come on, he's not that much of a coward. Can you even blame him, considering everything that's happened here? Fine, I suppose it is a bit much to expect that everyone here will be able to act calmly. Unless it doesn't act out in a way that disrupts the... Couldn't even last a full minute, could he? Christ, what is it now? Bernard, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. How could I be okay after seeing this? What do you know? You may have had something useful. Run away, Bernard. Sit tight. You don't have to tell me twice. We left the laundry room and headed back down the hallway. Right across must we saw Bernard crouched down by a door. Bernard, are you okay? I'm fine, but... Obviously he was scared by something in this room, right? That's Victor's room. Maybe Victor's room is hiding something interesting. I reached the door and swung it open. While I was expecting some shocking scene inside the room, I had to take a moment to pause to make sense of what stood before me. Blood smears over the walls and floor, toppled furniture and displaced items, and most shocking of all, a second corpse. Now that is interesting. I showed purposefully into the room while the others were still busy tending to Bernard. Second corpse. I just hit the jackpot. 2 souls for the price of 1 mystery. So it might be a bit more work, but this was definitely worth it. Just to be sure, I got closer to the corpse on the bed, and sure enough, I felt the intense presence of a distressed soul. All I had to do now was ensure that I solved this case perfectly. Holy shit. What the hell happened here? Mules first went into the room after me. Christ, there's so much fucking blood everywhere. It was a much messier scene in the laundry room. But where there's a mess, there's often hidden clues. I'm going to search for clues again. Before that, though, I need to speak with you all again. A lot of importance we need to address. I walked back outside with Mio and shut the door behind me. Bernard was still on the ground, clutching at his head while Kai tended to him. Are you in good enough state to answer questions, Bernard? Yeah, I can. Weirdly enough, the shock somehow made the nausea go away. Even still, I don't understand what the scene was about. Don't get ahead of yourself. Ask some questions, then you can give me the answers. Go easy on him, he's been through a lot. Yes, we're all having a rough night. I'm just trying to help get us through it. So first things first. Bernard, why did you go to Victor's room? I was going to the hopes I was going to the bathroom. The kitchen? There's a sink in there. But didn't want to get the sink all dirty in case we were going to eat there later. How considerate of you. Is the only bathroom attached to Victor's room? Yeah, it's a weird setup. The only way to access the bathroom was by going through Vic's room. Vic said he was going to run right through here. Fair enough. And what did you see when you opened the door? Nothing at first. The lights were off, so I failed to run for the light switch to turn them on. And when I did, that's when I just saw the mess, the corpse, everything. I ran right out and called for help because I didn't know what the hell to do. A reasonable reaction. When we got that part of the way, I need to ask a more important question. I sift my gaze onto Kai, Mio, and Bernard. Does anyone else live here with Victor? A loved one, family member, even something like a roommate? They all shook their heads. Vic lives by himself. I don't think he's ever had friends or family living with him. I see. Aside from you three, was he expecting any other guests here tonight? Maybe some repairman or service worker? They each shrugged. Usually he holds these parties for the four of us. Because if there's any kind of work or errands that needs to be run, he has us do it. So you say it's unlikely for him to have invited someone else aside from you three? That's what I'm saying. But what about the enemies? Is there anyone that might wish to seek him harm? Now, Vic might be a bit eccentric, but he's a good guy. I can't think of anyone who would want to hurt him. So just confirm, there's no family, friends, enemies, guests, or anyone else who should be living here aside from Victor. And the only people he invited to this party were you three. They each nodded. We were so confused when you showed up. It's usually a close gathering just for the four of us. We thought that if you were some friend of Vic's, we'd have heard of you at some point. That wasn't the case, and we thought that maybe you would just hide up to set the mood. I see. Thank you for explaining all that to me. That does leave us with a slight problem. Lead back into the room. We have two dead bodies. One of which I assume belongs to Victor, but I have no idea who the second corpse belongs to. Maybe that one's fake? Bernard, don't want to spiral into a delusion or smack that old mask off your face. I'm not being delusional, I know this is it's just... I have no idea who it could be. Vic being dead makes sense, but a second person? I don't even know where to start. Maybe there really is some freak serial killer on the loose. If there is, perhaps they left clues. And we will understand the truths if we start investigating. You're right. It was bad enough with Vic dying, but a second person? I'm not going to sit here idly. I'd also rather stay with the group until we at least figure things out. I also want to stay safe. Good. And I suggest we stick close so we can watch one of us backs. You don't have to investigate, but at least keep your eyes peeled for anything that seems off. The three of them nodded, we entered Vic's room once again. Unlike the last room, there were a lot more places to investigate and check up on. Surely there'd be evidence somewhere that would point to the identity of the second victim. Let's start with the body itself. Not this again. Want to complain, or you'll wait off to the side? No, I can stomach it. Good. Now let's see what we have there. We walked up to the body. There's another bare skeleton lying on top of the bed with a pile of stinking viscera underneath. This will be similar to the last body we checked. I'd agree, but it's best to be thorough. I can say that he looks to be a similar freshness at least. I suspect that this death also occurred only an hour or two ago. Really? That'd be about the same time that Vic died? Can't be a coincidence, can it? Who's to say? Personally, I don't believe in coincidences, but they've been known to happen. Well, let's not speculate and actually find out what information the corpse can give us. On the last corpse, I checked the kitchen from the feet and worked my way up. Unlike the last corpse, I immediately found a few scratch marks on the bones. One on the hip bone, one on the left hand, and two around the neck. The more telling were multiple fractured ribs. There's been multiple scratch marks on some of the bones, likely caused by stab wounds, if I had to guess. Broken ribs would have been caused by someone stabbing through them. Holy fuck. That's so brutal. Yes, quite the intimate murder. Intimate? Close quarters? You can't stab someone without much force without being close by. Anyway, aside from that, moved upwards toward the forehead of the skull. As the first found, this one had a diamond mark etched into the bone. I rubbed it and felt this familiar grimace that were just like the other body. This mark on a second body, done so cleanly, can't be a coincidence. Is there some specialized tool that can leave a mark on a skull like this? Okay. What about the viscera? Not again. You don't look if you don't want to. Quite a deep breath and then regretted as the smell of the corpse overtook him. A couple of times, then pinched his nose. I'll just try and hold my breath. I smirked and then got to work searching through the entrails. The last time it seemed to just be blood and guts. Then when I felt something hard in the pile, I grabbed it and carefully pulled it out. The object was a cell phone. What the heck is a phone doing under that mess of blood and flesh? Who knows, it might have been placed there deliberately, or maybe it was hidden. The question is, what's on the phone, and whose is it? I'll have to tell with all the blood on it. True, let me clean that up. I wiped the blood off on my sleeves until the screen was visible. The screen blinked alive as I touched it. That's Victor's phone, showing that image of the four of us anywhere. Well, that's good news. Chances are that we'll be able to find something useful on it then. Someone here know the code to unlock it. They all shook their heads. Well, it doesn't matter. The phone's already unlocked anyway. Why did you ask? I want to see if someone might have had access to the phone's contents, that's all. That's a dirty trick. Anything for the truth. Now let's see what's stored on here. I saw through the phone's contents, but nothing seemed interesting. The contact list was small. Just Mio, Kai, and Bernard, with a few more generic listings for boss, mechanic, and the like. Welcome, Raiders. How is everyone doing tonight? How did the rest of the Spookality stream go? But those hadn't been contacted in months. Such as been on the phone was just horror props and decorations, and some other strange stuff. Giant half skeleton, skeleton family, skinny skeleton jokes, famous bones, most creative use of a skeleton. Can you identify this famous skeleton? What's this guy's weird obsession with skeletons? I turned my attention instead to the most recent text messages that he sent. You can't go through those. Why not? Is it like a breach of privacy or something? Oh. Of course. My mistake. Take all the time you need, darling. Love you too. Let's give him 10 seconds to object. Not to be an asshole. No, but I do need to be thorough. It might lead us to finding out information about someone he invited. Aren't you curious? I am, but... It's for the good of the investigation. Go ahead and search. I wasn't really going to ask for permission, but I'm glad that you see reason. I first checked the group chat that Mio, Kai, and Bernard were in. Nothing unexpected there. It's just Vic giving out instructions for what they each had to bring, or the time for the party. Then there were individualized text messages to each of them. One from Mio mentioned bringing extra cables for the VCR/DVD machine, since the ones that he had were slightly frayed and might not work. One for Kai mentioned that he should be careful not to drink before getting on the road and to wait until the party got started to indulge himself. Similarly, Vic said to mention to Bernard to make sure he had the right brand of Halloween exclusive sugar cookies that were on sale tonight only. We didn't specify what brand they were. Well, this movie sends a message to each of you individually. There's instructions like don't drink and drive, bring extra cables and buy some special brand of cookies. He was about making sure that things went his way. We each followed the assignments he gave out. I mean, I'd be an idiot if I drank and drove over here. That's how you get people killed. Plus you saw the drinks I brought over. I brought extra wires as he asked to. I got the cookies he asked for. Not them when he arrived, actually. I didn't actually eat any of them, though, but that's fine. I'll get to taste one sooner or later. Well, that seems to be everything that I could find, searching through those remains. I'll just be keeping hold of the phone for now. Fine by me. And for the bed. Let's see if this bed has any secrets. Hoping to find on the bed. I'm not sure, but considering there's a dead body on it, it'll be something useful. I checked on the covers, which were soaked with blood, but found nothing unusual. Most of all the pillows were a very blood-stained knife gleamed in the light. And that's why we search every suspicious nook and cranny. Anyone recognize this knife? I'd guess probably a kitchen knife, might even be from this house. If it was a fancy set of knives, might be from his knife block. I didn't want it before, but if one's missing, then that's probably it. Vic takes care of his things. You see, a knife from Victor's own home. We're the first time this happened. It looks like a sharp and well-tended tool. At least imagine something like this cutting through flesh and bone. Please, stop talking like that. Fine, I'll keep the gory details in my head. I'm keeping this on hand just to be safe. Look, you want to say something? Do you think I shouldn't hold the knife? No, I mean, I just get nervous at the thought of anyone handling a knife during this investigation. Well, suck it up. I guarantee you that it's safer in my hands than in any of yours. Be as proud as you'd like, but I was going to keep that knife safe and ensure nobody else got stabbed with it. Okay, that's everything around the body. I'm taking a step back. With a bit of investigation completed. For anyone unfamiliar with me currently, I am Horacio, archivist, storyteller, madman. Currently near the end of my October showcase, the Hunter of Horrors. Tonight showing off the visual novel Replaced, in which we solve a multi-body locked room murder mystery. And of course, if anyone was not currently following Lilith, you should absolutely correct that. Welcome back. What riddles were failed at, and did Pep manage to keep the teddy bear on them throughout? Let's see where the blood trail goes. I'm very proud of them. Also very proud of Sam for solving the thing. Or half the thing, at least. Let's see what the blood train. Do we need to... We know where it ends up. It was ended up on the bed, it was probably killed there, right? Even so, we may find some evidence on the trail's path, or at least some insight on how the victim and culprit moved. Okay, that makes sense. So we'd start here? Your point to a noticeable blood splotch near the entrance of the room. So maybe they were attacked here first? Possibly all this was the location where the blood was drawn first. If we follow that, our wounded victim ran to the left in the closet and had more blood drawn from them. Finally, they make one last attempt at escaping by running over towards the bed where they are seemingly caught and killed. Well, lean in new information. Almost as if anything stood on its path. I passed by hamper and dresser, each with bloody handprints on them. Notably a shirt and a broken lamp had blood on them as well. I'd wager a guess, our victim may have tried to throw something at the killer as they attempted to escape. Maybe in their blind panic, they were reaching for something, anything, that would save their life. But ultimately ended up dying on the bed. What a shame. So I can't say for certain that's how things went down. Just a small observation on my end. Now let's see if we can find something more conclusive in this mess of a room. What is in the room itself? What makes it to this chaotic room? A lot of random items littered about. It's really not how I'd like to keep my living quarters. Visiting this place like this, it was orderly, organized. He wouldn't have blood anywhere, not even fake blood. I hope the same man would keep blood out of the place where he sleeps. That aside, these are the classic signs of a struggle. This would rely on Victor being a cleanly man. I've been here plenty of times before. I know that Victor keeps his place spotless. We can make a reasonable assumption that in some desperate struggle he made a mess of things here. Well, him or someone else. I guess. It would allow me to do a detailed search of this mess. I only inspected the fallen furniture, the tossed clothes, and other spots that caught my eye. I even checked the windows to make sure they were locked from the inside. Indeed, they were. Most of these spots didn't have anything of note, but I did find something in the fallen hamper. However, that was absolutely drenched in blood. I carefully pulled it out from the hamper and showed it off to the others. Look what I found here. Oh shit. That outfit, that's what Victor was supposed to wear tonight. Wait, really? There's no doubt about it, we saw him showing it off a couple of days ago. And with all that blood and stuff, but it's the same. That much I know for sure. Ah, interesting. I took the object closer and realized that not only was it bloody, but it was damaged. There were cuts around the chest, collar, and the abdomen. Aside from the blood, was it always so tattered? It wasn't covered in all those cuts. I'm guessing those are cuts. Admittedly, it's scary when it's all bloody and damaged like this, but I don't even want to look. But then closer to me so I can inspect it, but as I did so, I heard a jingle. What's that? Took the effort some more and heard it jingling again. It's like came from one of the pockets in the outfit. It was stained ever so slightly with blood. I reached inside to pull out a blood-stained key. But look at what we have here. Could you all confirm to me this is the key to the house? I presented the key to the others, who were quick to nod. I mean, it looks like it. I guess you could test it out of the front door if you wanted to be sure. But wait. The key was inside and all the exits are locked. How did the killer get away? That's a good question. Let me think about it. The circumstances of where this key was found make things complicated. I like complicated. Let's look at the bathroom next. Probably find something useful. If not, well, at least Bernard will be close to a toilet that feels sick again. Hey. I ignored Bernard's complaining and we walked into the bathroom. It wanted to be clean, but the blood in the sink and the nearby towels stuck out like sore thumbs. It's not as bad in here as it is in Vic's room. Agreed. Now let's take a quick look. I checked the sink. It was wet and there were obvious traces of blood in there. It was used relatively recently. Other than that, however, I couldn't find anything else of interest in it. I picked the medicine cabinet, but all that was in it was a half-empty bottle of headache tablets and some ordinary toiletries. The toilet, thankfully, was also about as plain as can be. Same with the shower. I finally checked the bloody towel that was hung near the wall. There sadly wasn't much that I can glean from a bloody towel. Only there was a fair amount of blood on it, and that it was wet. It was a little case-breaking, but it was information all the same. This is what you found? I shrugged and turned to head back into Victor's room. Not disappointed, but not exactly enlightened either. Not every discovery has to be case-breaking. Yeah, I guess you've got a point. We have to be able to fit all this together, right? We have to. In due time. You can't rush a solution, otherwise you'll just crash and bumble your way through mistakes. I didn't seem all that happy with that response, but it was the truth. A good solution comes from putting every piece of evidence in the proper place. We just had to go one step at a time. That was insightful. Did you manage to make sense of anything? Yes, I figured out we're dealing with a locked room mystery. What do we know what that means? It's essentially a type of impossible mystery, one where the victim is found in a locked room with the only key inside. In our case, we have two victims that were inside a locked house with no exits, and the only key was found inside the pocket of this bloody costume. Aside from the door that I broke down earlier, there are no other notable signs of forced entry or exit, so it would seem that it would be impossible for our culprit to have committed this crime and then left the scene unnoticed. Hold on, you're still saying the murders are basically impossible to solve? Don't get frantic, there was a way to explain the murder. Even a lot of mystery can be explained through logic, and through reason and logic, we have to go through all the potential solutions. How should we start trying to wrap our heads around this? First off, do you even know of secret passages or hidden doors inside this house? Your friend strikes me as the type that might keep one around for the sake of scaring the occasional guest. As far as I know, he hasn't done anything like that. This is a plain old house. The most he's ever done is add decorations to it. Let me double check just to be safe. Feel around for grooves at the walls, dust markings, some misplaced button, anything. I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. Everyone thoroughly inspected the walls and items in Victor's room, but we found nothing. We the same for the bathroom, but again, no hint of a secret passage. That was a waste of time. Nothing wasteful about ensuring that there's no secret passages. Plus, we still need to check the other rooms. We should check more? It has to be incredibly naive of us who assume that just because one room didn't have a secret passage, the others wouldn't as well. Okay, let's just get this over with then. Went back to the laundry room and checked again for secret passages, but we didn't find anything. Afterwards we checked the living room area, yet we found nothing. When I was there, I confirmed the key we found was the one that locked the front door. But I can still find any secret passages, so what does that mean? The culprit didn't use a secret passage. What else could it mean? They'd have come up with a solution by now. There are other ways to explain the locked room. Before that, I need to ask, how many other rooms are there in this house? There's the attic. Aside from that, there's not much else. Lead me to the attic, then. To find that. Don't tell me we're going to search for more hidden passages. We might. Well, let's just ensure I don't miss any clues up there. Always have to start getting sloppy with my deduction, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Kai, lead on. Kai seemed to enjoy being ordered around, but nevertheless followed my instructions and led our group towards the attic. Not the attic was short, but when we arrived I had to take the moment to stare at all the clutter inside. Boxes upon boxes stacked up on top of one another, all carefully marked and labelled so I could see that they should contain decorations, costume books, and taxidermy supplies? This always had interesting hobbies. Right. Not over the animatronics staring at us in the corner. If anyone tried to sneak into this place, they'd probably be scared to death. Luckily, I have no fear. Okay, guess I'll get searching. You're going to search through all these boxes? What are you looking to find? You look like this case wide open. That's kind of vague. I don't know how to explain it. It will be something that we all know when we see it. I'm sure you know what you're looking for. So much crap up here that you'll drive yourself mad looking through every little box. You don't look through every little box, though. Not with precision, anyway. Looking for something that was likely thrown away in a hurry. Something that wasn't easily disposable. Something that won't take me long to find it. Let's sit tight while I look, okay? We just looked at one another and watched as I started rummaging through the boxes, only taking a few seconds in each one. After about a minute of searching, I found it. It was going to give this whole mystery a new meaning, a new context, and a new solution. Here we go. Take a look at this. We jumped even to the bottom of one of the boxes and pulled out the empty and discarded skin of Victor. When I revealed the horrifying amount of skin to the others, they stood petrified in fear and shock. Poor Bernard looked like he was on the verge of fainting. What the hell am I looking at? Skin, obviously. I know that it's fucking skin, but why does it look like that? Fuck, I don't want to lose my mind. I've seen so much fucked up shit tonight. It's like one of those creepy masks in horror movies, but it's a whole bodysuit. And it's just observation. It really does look something you could just wear, doesn't it? I was going to try and step into it to see if it fit over my body, but that might be a bit too graphic for these poor souls. Instead, I laid the skin out on the floor like it was one of those bear rugs. This should give us a good perspective on things. This was understand by you putting this thing out in front of us. I want to know why the hell there's even this fucking skin back here. Ask a question, but I think you ought to know the answer by now. Doppelganger. No? You can't mean. We all assume that both of the skin. Everyone assumes that both the skins we found so far have had bones, blood, and viscera, but no skin. Indeed, because the slime would leave nothing. Anyway, with only one victim's skin. Can't be. It can't, it just can't. What the hell are you freaking out about? That was just a myth. I honestly thought it was just a myth. What? What are you talking about? What depends freaking out about is the fact that our killer is no mere deranged psycho. They are, in fact, a doppelganger. A doppelganger? You mean the shape changers? Wait. For once, but I was frantically demanding attention. No way. It's not real. Monsters aren't real. It's bad enough they exist in fiction, but for them to be real... Stop, I don't want to imagine there's actually some doppelganger here. Because... But not overrid me, who mirrored his look of terror and dread. What? What would it mean? Writing slow, are you truly that ignorant? Huh? I don't want to explain it to you right now. Don't tell your friends, I'm going to inspect the skin. Alright, I guess. I'm sure they didn't expect it would be an easy conversation to have, but they needed to have it. If only so that it would be easy for me to explain my theory later. While they did that, I looked over the skin and immediately spotted a couple of oddities. Those were the number of puncture marks across the skin. There by the neck, multiple ones by the chest, one by the lower abdomen. As expected, after that, my eyes went right towards the hands. I noticed thick, red, irritated marks across the palm and fingers. They were on both hands, and they had a distinctive pattern. Not of a surprise, if anything, it was welcome information. Another interesting point was a familiar diamond mark on the forehead of the skin. As expected. No surprise there either. What I was surprised by was the red bumps around the neck and face of the skin. That was not what I expected, but maybe. I hadn't thought to myself, trying to put all the pieces together. My attention was drawn back to the Gawkers, who were now looking to me for answers. Wasn't you all caught up to what I meant earlier? And terrified looks on their face would suggest that they had. I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. You're saying that the killer, the person that killed Vic, is a doppelganger. Yes, I said so quite clearly. Furthermore, I believe that doppelganger not only killed your friend Victor, raised a finger and then pointed at each of them, but killed one of you. Which is why we have two corpses. Our killer managed to create a perfect disguise to go along with their seemingly perfect crime. We them looked at one another, eyes laced with suspicion, fear, and anger. I should probably feel some sense of dread right now, but I urge you to stay calm. Doppelganger is probably just waiting for a moment of chaos to strike, or at least escape. We can't let that happen, can we? One of us is really a doppelganger. Only those misery, like, can't. I was the only one who stayed silent, but unlike those who were losing themselves in the horror of the situation, he seemed oddly calm. What a doppelganger disguised as one of my friends. Fine, we'll handle this. There's an easy way to figure this out. You looked at Neil and Bernard square in the eye. One of you is that damned monster, so we're going to weed them out right here, right now. Huh? How do you plan to do that? It looks just like us. You're not going to be able to know just by inspecting our faces and bodies. Who cares about that crap? This monster might be able to look like us, but doesn't know who we really are. All to do is ask one another things that only we would know. Intimate personal crap like that. Then the paper will stick out like shit on the bathroom floor. God, I get that you want to figure this out, but it's... Shut up, Mia. If you're against the idea, then you're only doing it to save your own skin. What? That's not it at all. Yeah, Kai, he's up and at least let us speak up. Bernard, I don't want this killer to weasel their way out of this. This is a foolproof method. Any excuse to get out of it just means... Any excuse to get out of it just means that you are suspicious. Unless you want me to think you're the killer and body snatcher, you'll play along. Bernard quickly relented to Kai's overwhelming authority. I don't think this was going to work, but it would at least prove useful in crossing off suspicion I had earlier. Fine, what do you want to ask? It was something personal that we both know, so... Just want to make sure there's something that we also wouldn't have written down or texted about. In case I went through Vic's text and so on, like, older stuff. Good point. Well, we'll use that as our criteria then. I paid my own a fair bit before looking back at Mio. Okay, Mio. How old were you when you learned how to swim? I was 16. I had learned because we were all going to water park to celebrate your birthday that year. Kai nodded, seemingly placated with the answer. Unfortunately, that meant suspicion turned to Bernard, who was already quivering like a leaf under his gaze. It's not me, I swear! It's not you, then just answer honestly. It was a freak coincidence that happened a couple of years ago when we both happened to get on the same plane without prior planning. Where we both headed. Oh, that's easy, we're both going to Iceland. You kept glaring at me during the boarding, so I turned to look at you. That's... correct. Kai's brow furrowed as he looked between you and Bernard. What the fuck? Then what's going on? Well, don't we need to ask you something? I put myself by asking you a question. That's enough, isn't it? We should simply just be safe. Fine, ask away. There's no point. The bigger access to our memories happens whenever it steals someone's skin. Something that's all pointless? I'm going to tell you before you force me to play along. You should have spoken up earlier. So knows what we know. You act like us perfectly in disguise is indistinguishable. Okay, new plan. I know this is going to sound crazy, but what if we wait and do, like, a DNA test or something? Maybe we can copy on a genetic level. I mean... I'm proud of you for trying the thing method, Bernard, however... How do you plan to do that? That would be a good solution, right? We don't have time for that. Something will probably run off and escape before we could even organize something like that. Okay, maybe it was my best tip, but I was just thinking there has to be some way to identify it. I mean, this thing just can kill our friends. What if it wants more of us? It won't stop until we're all dead. I won't let that happen. I'll keep us safe. We don't know that. Any one of us could end up being a fake. If we can't tell which one of us is the doppelganger, then we're going to live the rest of our lives looking over our shoulders. Only if we can't figure things out tonight. And we win. We have to. So given another choice. I'm not going to tolerate one of us being a doppelganger living life like it's normal. Knowing that one of you killed two of my friends, it drives me mad. It drive all of us insane, either with anger or paranoia. I know, I just wish it was easier. I can't figure any of this stuff out. Can you just shut up for once? Your cowering isn't helping at all. I can't help it, what am I supposed to do? I saw two dead bodies and found out that one of us is a doppelganger. I can't all be tough like you, Kai. I wish I was. I really wish I was as old as I can, but I just can't. Then just shut up and keep your blubbering to yourself while the rest of us fix this. Will you two be quiet? Your screaming isn't going to help anyone. I'm not screaming, I'm just telling him how it is. And how does frightening him help? I'm blathering on so we can focus on finding out which of us is the doppelganger. To find out as much as you do. No, you don't. Neither of you do. None of you knew Victor like I did. So don't go off saying that you want as much as... Enough! My voice boomed across the attic with such strength the other three jumped in surprise. This rain has lost its luster. I'm tired of seeing you two squabble with this pathetic monster. You want the truth, correct? More than anything at this point. Yes, that's all I want. Bernard rapidly nodded his head. You will cease this incessant argument and let me piece everything together. I will give you peace of mind, a chance of revenge, and safety. So no more arguing, no more threats, no more escalations. Can you all agree to that much at least? Yeah. Yes. Ghost isn't about letting out a heavy sigh, he seemed to relax. Fine, just end this miserable night, will you? That's the plan. Now, let's begin. Okay, so we're bound to learn the context of all that happened. So. Let's see. Odd red bumps on neck and face. The question of how... The odd art is a question. I mean, logically, by order of arrival, the biggest suspicion is on Kai, or on none of them. So the other guest was... Okay, so... To get things started... The doppelganger attacked Victor. The costume was bloodied. And it then tried to utilize the prior costume. The other person was then most likely strangled before having their skin taken. We don't know how the key got misplaced. Oh, because the key remained in the pocket of the costume. As far as getting out, it would make sense if there was a slime, which could be Mia, but then we'll need one of the corpses would need to have no viscera for that case. Something I've been mulling over. We do have all the clues, but putting the mystery together. Something I'm overlooking that puts things properly into perspective. So no matter what it, no matter who it was, I don't really see a way they would have gotten out. Despite not showing... No, I'm not seeing a way the doppelganger had a way out. Once that's gathered, I can probably put everything together properly, but... The initial victim died via multiple stab wounds on the bed. Indeed. Then the doppelganger took over. Put on the old costume because the current one was bloody and ruined. No, they're not assumptions that belong to Victor, but also... It's really suspicious to not be keeping up with the second one belonged to Victor given the additional evidence. The second victim was killed while the doppelganger looked like Victor. You didn't all arrive together though, did you? I mean, if that is the case, it would have been Kai. Because the person who... The other victim is the one in the laundry room. Oh, you're not off the hook, Neo. You're also alone. You're not inside. Doesn't absolve you either, though. It's certainly boisterous, though. Indeed. The banal assumption would be completely off. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily. So a limited time frame. It's not a bad presumption, but it means it's missing some elements. Indeed, therein is the primary issue with this presumption. There was a strangulation, however. A lot of mysteries are definitely tricky. No. Because it does borrow the skin. Oh. Wasn't with a covered neck is... But you also want a loan for it, therefore. Indeed, strangulation was definitely the proposed cause of death for the first corpse that we found. It does still point to Mio during the period, but the question is how, since the time that Mio was alone was when they were still outside, and Mio was one of the later ones to arrive. True. The person who was asked to bring cords was Mio. But I forgot about the... rope burn tidbit. It wasn't the palms. I overlooked the on the palms tidbit. So yes, we know that Mio was a doppelganger, which definitely is also amusing considering the very expressive eye of the costume. Which certainly raised some flags earlier. If I was possibly amused by the idea of her being a slime before I remember that it leaves nothing but bones. With the tongue being the slime-like tether as a result. Mm-hmm. It is indeed. Cables. Defensive. Oh. I did forget the rope, actually. They're all the clues, aren't they? Yeah, the nooses. It was established that Victor was very orderly. Neat. Person who arrived first was Kai, supposedly. Though how the house was locked again remains an important question. Yep, definitely following that part so far. Absolutely, Bernard. Person would have had the key then. First one to enter the room would have been Bernard. Mm-hmm. Because they entered it before everyone else did. Bernard's opportunity. Yes. Oh, yes, well, actually could have been either of you. Theoretically. Mm-hmm. It does go back to Mia, but Neil didn't have a time frame by which to actually plant the key again. Hmm. Hmm. Indeed. I suppose what I've overlooked as well, since I'm not keeping up with it either. Welcome back, Ash. We are actually at the finale of our mystery. Yeah, we never did get back to that tidbit. Indeed. Was one of the packs of cookies lemon? Those still seem charming. I did say that all of the scenes were... all the Temple of scenes were still intact. Mm-hmm. It is a satisfying popping sound, is it not? Hmm. Hmm. Getting a bit nervous there. Hmm. Not in entirety yet. Or Reaper. Would have been nice to see a little bit of the more horror in the art, but I do understand this was made under a distinct time limit, so I'm not judging. But one can hope. Have you now? Reaper is not necessarily so. And also not really a good baseline of what someone should or should not do. Work to do, you say? If you say so. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, concludes Replaced. A well-crafted mystery. Honestly, it's always amusing the additional elements the supernatural add to a nice murder mystery. Because certainly when there's something beyond the pale, the usual rules have to be thought of in a new context. And of course, one of the greatest things about a mystery is the ability to always experience it a second time, even once you know all of the twists and turns. I think we to look for all of the small bits of foreshadowing. And while I will not replay this anytime soon, it will certainly be interesting to see every bit of foreshadowing that this game had to offer that I did not notice my first time around. And of course, the game is free for anyone to give a shot yourself. Even having reached the conclusion, nice 2-ish hours to go through, piece together what you can, and see just how quickly the threads began to unravel around this intricately woven web. But, while normally, with still time to spare, we would opt to continue with some other showcase, tonight we'll bring this to a close early. And for tonight, I shall send you forward to one Tatiana Crossfix, who's currently playing Phasmophobia. We will not return tomorrow, as I do like to keep Halloween for my own enjoyment. But we will return on Friday with our final showcase for our Hunter of Horror series, Remnants from the Rift. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, please do all that you can to enjoy the remainder of your evening. And as always, take care and good night.